Greetings to you all. My name is Babawale Ojoye. I welcome you to my YouTube channel called Bakery Management. The essence of this YouTube channel is to try as much as possible to give you all the necessary information that will ensure that your bakery is successful, rewarding, fulfilling, and with good reputation. We are going to continue in our series called Solutions to Bakery Problem. In the previous video, we discussed about financial problems, especially mentioning poor liquidity as the first problem and preferring solutions to poor liquidity. But today we are going to be talking about low profit or low profit margin. Low profit margin. What do we mean by low profit margin? Low profit margin is when your expected profitability is not the same thing with what the bakery is actually giving you. That means you're expecting the profitability to be at a particular level and is not actually giving you that particular profit or margin. And based on so many factors, so many things that have affected your profit or your margin. And for us to be able to determine profitability, it depends on so many factors. It depends on so many factors, depend on everything that you do in your bakery. Everything from your recipe to your production, from your production to your bakery logistics, from your bakery logistics to the cost of supplying your products to the customers. Everything that affects the production of the bread. That's why you have to look inward and look at what are the things that are affecting your profitability. You start from your recipe. Is it from your recipe? If it's from your recipe, you have to tweak your recipe in such a way that it will reduce the cost of raw materials or your recipe cost, so that you can also have an increased margin based on that. And also you look at other things, your production, your procurement, the cost of supplying your bread to customers. You have to try as much as possible and look at that and see where you can reduce some kind of cost, and also your overhead. You have to look at your overhead. What are the things that are actually making you not to have a profit that is expected? Because everything that you do in the bakery has a cost, and the cost is also incorporated into the profitability. That's why it is an holistic review of everything that is being done in the bakery, so that you can actually reduce those things that are actually not making the profit not to be high, that is making the profit to be low. The next is debt. Debt. I always advise bakery that wants to get a facility or a loan for maybe financial institution to actually look at the terms and conditions and the interest rate of the financial institution, the loan they are taking, or the grant they are taking, or the money they are taking from somewhere that they are going to pay back before they actually get that loan or that grant or that investment, because you are going to pay back. And if the interest rates or the repayment plan is not suitable for the bakery, it's going to really affect the bakery. Because I've seen several bakeries that have acquired some money from the financial institution and they struggled because they didn't look at the repayment plan, they didn't look at the interest rate, and they just collected the money, and it's now difficult for them to be able to pay back. That is why before you get any loan, you have to be able to look at it. Can it accommodate the profit that we're making? How long are we going to be able to pay back? Because if you get the loan, it is going to turn into a debt and you have to pay back. That is where so many bakeries are having issues. And those bakeries that actually collect the loan and they structured it very well, they are able to pay back and they're able to expand their bakery. But for those that have not really done their own work, that have not really looked at everything that I've discussed about the interest rate, the repayment plan, can this bakery be able to pay back? It's always turning into a problem for them, and they start struggling. I've seen several bakeries that because of the loan, they have to shut down their bakery. That is why a bakery should try as much as possible, if you get a loan from somewhere or a facility from somewhere or any inflow from somewhere, you should structure it in such a way that you'll be able to pay back. The next thing we're talking about is customers owning the bakery, or customers in terms of the dealers. If you are doing wholesale and you have dealers that are coming and you have distributors that are coming and they are owing you, the number one thing to do is try as much as possible to make them pay before taking your product. Make them pay before taking their product, because that is the key thing, and we spoke about it in poor liquidity. You should ensure that your customers, the dealers, the distributors, let them pay into your account and then pick the product. That is the solution to customers owing. Let them pay before taking your product. Don't give them an ample hands for them to take the product and then pay back after some time. So many things might happen to them. So many things can happen to them. There could be theft in their own place. The person can pass on, and so many things that you will not be able to recover your money back. The next thing is fraud. How do you prevent fraud in the bakery? How do you prevent fraudulent activity going on, even outside the bakery, that is going to affect your bakery? That is why you have to put all the security intelligence in place. For example, if you have a bakery, if you don't have a CCTV, you have to ensure that you have a system that you can monitor what goes on. And also you have to have some control in place, financial control. You have to look at internal control system whereby you can look at everything that is happening in the bakery. You'll be able to look at the financial aspect. How is the money coming in? Is it commensurate to the product that is going out? You have to check the numbers. You have to check the numbers on a regular basis, on a daily basis. All your books must be intact so that you'll be able to see everything that is happening. The financial activity that is going on, anything that you are seeing that you are being suspicious about, you have to look inward, you have to look critically and see, is it that they are stealing the bread? Is it that the money is not coming in? And is it that there are so many collaborations happening in the bakery? Because some collaborations happens. That's why you have to look at it critically. You have to look at it and have some internal monitoring. Internal monitor, you check everything, you check the financial aspect, because any theft that happens in the bakery will definitely affect the financial standard of the bakery, will affect the profitability. That is why you have to look at it. What is actually happening? Is there any kind of fraud? Is there any kind of theft that is happening in the bakery? That's what is going to help you to be able to look and say, okay, where can we tackle to prevent this? If they are stealing the bread in the bakery, you can now check the CCTV and say, okay, who stole a particular bread at a particular time? If it's any financial thing that's happened in your record book, you'll be able to check. You check for okay, this one bread that was sold, how did it come out? You have a template, you have an internal control system whereby you'll be able to check all those things. You have auditors checking the account and be able to say, okay, where is this problem coming from? The next one is low sales. If you have low sales, depending on the kind of bakery that you run, are the customers coming in to buy the product alone? Are you supplying the products to customers directly, or the retailers? Do you have wholesale or wholesalers or dealers coming in to pick your product? Those are the things you have to be able to identify first and be able to know, okay, how, if you are selling directly to customers, you have to ensure that you market your product more. You have to sensitize more people. Okay, we have bread products that we are selling here, and then be able to ensure that you convert them to your customers. And if you have customers that are coming, maybe dealers, maybe distributors, you have to ensure that you work more on getting more dealers, more distributors, so that they'll be coming to pick your product. And if you are taking the product down to them, you have to do more, you have to go more and search for more people that will be having your product, so that you can have more sales and more customers. Because this is the most important part of the bread making, because if you have your bread product and you are not selling, the business cannot run. That is why you have to give this a very, very close attention. If you have a marketer that goes out, a salesperson, you have to ensure that they do the sales and the marketing adequately. They become more effective at marketing to the customers. Even those that are coming into your product, your salesperson has to have more orientation on sales and marketing. How do you treat unaggrieved customers? How do you relate to customers? How do you pacify them if there's any problem? If they have any issues with your brand, what are the things you're doing? Because those are the things that affect the sales of a particular product of a bread, of a bakery. Those are the things we have to look at so that you can resolve your financial problem. Because when the financial problem is resolved, your bakery will be viable and you'll be able to move from a struggling bakery to a successful bakery. And if your bakery is already successful, you'll be able to move from a successful bakery to highly successful bakery. And also, if your bakery is closed down, if you can implement one of these things, your bakery will be able to bounce back and you'll be able to reopen your bakery and then become successful.